air raid siren. If I make it. Let's go. 1 mile done. Getting tired. Sore foot. Russ Cook, the hardest geezer. Had a few blisters that have appeared. My Philippines t-shirt. Vienna to Bratislava. It's been so difficult. I'm back in business. The massive tractor isn't the smartest idea. I'm not going to fail. Maybe.
Welcome to Vienna, the starting point of one of the hardest challenges I've ever set myself, as I try and run 43 miles in one day to Bratislava, the capital city of Slovakia, as an amateur runner. But first, we have to go back 6 months for the start of this story. Welcome to the start of this running challenge. I'd like to really try and do it properly, have a proper training plan, go for it, just see what I can achieve and aim for a marathon. That is my plan at the moment. I've never run further than the half marathons, and at the moment I generally run between 2, maybe 3 miles maximum at a time, and I might do that 2 or 3 times a week. It's going to be not straightforward, but I'm excited. Let's see how this goes. My training started in Vienna and continued in the ancient city of Athens, where I ran around the National Gardens. It was here that I was thinking of ideas of my end goal. This had to lead me to the spiritual home of running at the Panathinaikos Stadium, the oldest stadium in the world. I continued this training plan by the sea, on the Greek island of Crete. I had a concrete training plan for 3 months regardless of where I was, and I followed it exactly. This, however, was stopped because of a trip to the very hot and humid India. I haven't ran now for about 3 weeks because of my trip here to India. I've done 3 half marathons in consecutive weekends. I've still been walking miles every day, so the fitness should still be there, but whether the running fitness is gone, we will find out very soon. It was even less likely in the 50-degree weather of Oman, but I still walked around a lot before heading to the Philippines, where my training mainly consisted of swimming. But I had now worked out my running goal, so I headed back to the autumnal Austrian capital city of Vienna to iron out the details. I'm currently only 3 days out from when I'm doing this run from Vienna to Bratislava, and I'm still not quite sure on the route I'm going to be taking. When you type into Google how far it is from Vienna to Bratislava, it automatically brings you up the car journey from Vienna to Bratislava, and it tells me here that it would be 1 hour and 15 in the car, which would be 81 kilometers, which is about 50 miles. So we're quite close to 2 consecutive marathons going with that. But again, that's going to go through the motorways. When you look closer, the Danube River, it goes from Vienna to Bratislava. The reason I'm doing Vienna to Bratislava is they are the capital cities in Europe which are closest together. I'm not including Rome and Vatican City because I'm just not including that. Like I said, I'm only 3 days out, and I've been doing some running over the last week and a half, 2 weeks, to try and get my fitness back to what it was before I was in India. I mean, I'm not going to pretend like I've had the best preparation for this. It's nowhere near the ideal preparation, but I thought of this plan very, very recently. Another reason as well is everybody in England and across parts of the world, I'm sure, will know about Russ Cook, the hardest geezer. He ran from the bottom to the top of Africa. It took over a year to do so. He was doing upwards of 60, 70 kilometers in a single day, every single day. So I was trying to find somewhere which would be roughly around that. Only for 1 day though. I couldn't do that over a long period of time. It's quite strange really as well, knowing that this might never go out. If I don't complete it, then there's no video, there's no achievement. It's quite a strange thought. I might end up finishing 20 miles or even pushing towards 30 miles, but unless I get myself from Vienna to Bratislava, I've failed. I don't want to fail. I'm not going to fail. I'll do it. Maybe.
2 days out until the big run. Just trying to get in the last few miles of practice.
think so far today I've done about 4 miles. I'm heading back soon so I don't get too injured. It's a beautiful time of year in Austria as well, when it goes to autumn and you have all the red leaves and orange leaves, temperatures dropped. Yeah, it's a really nice time of year. After the last practice run, I walked into the centre of Vienna to get a feel for where I would be starting my running journey. It is such a beautiful city, and I knew I had to start at the iconic St. Stephen's Cathedral. It was surrounded by crowds, but I knew that it would be a lot calmer early the next day for the start of my challenge. After a nice coffee and some breakfast to start my day, I headed for a chilly morning walk into Stephansplatz, where I would start my run. Of course, I stretched as much as I could, knowing my legs could take a battering over the course of the day.
So at the very start of my run here in Vienna, it's a beautiful day, very sunny, nice and warm. I've just left St. Stephen's Dome and I'm trying to get through the main parts of the city before I get onto the bike trail. That's 1 mile done, only 41 to go. I'm not going to do every mile updates because that might get a little bit tedious, but I was heading towards the Prater area of Vienna, which has got a big amusement park, and I had a walk around there yesterday. A lot of people wearing lederhosen for Oktoberfest. So yeah, 1 mile, 41 to go. The main problem at the moment is the amount of traffic lights. It's a very stop-start start to this run. Oh, traffic light's actually green for me. Perfect. It's quite an early start. I was up at 6 AM. I started running about 9, so I had a decent breakfast and a coffee and let that settle down. So I'm through the city now and I'm finally on the bike path, almost 3 miles in, so still at the very start of the journey, but it's good not to contend with cars and traffic lights anymore. On this bike path, it's covered in trees and it's along the Danube River, so it's a really nice place to run. My main thing at the moment is trying to make sure that I pace myself. I'm not used to running these distances, of course. I'm also wearing my Philippines t-shirt for the run because of how much I love the Philippines when I was there. T-shirt I got from Quran. So if you haven't seen that video yet, have a little look on my channel and you'll see the beauty of the Philippines and why I love it so much. It's a really beautiful time to be running, so quiet. I'm like the only person on this little bike track now. Running by the Danube, it's quiet. See swans, sunny, not too tired, so at the moment I'm loving it. Back on the roads now, unfortunately. I think it's only for a quick turn round, but there's no walk path or bike path at this point. So try to dodge a few cars for a little bit, keep you on my toes, keep me awake. So just running through a national park, the Donau National Park. I've had my first energy gel. So that's got lots of caffeine and carbohydrates, sugars, everything I'll need to keep pushing on. So it's good to avoid cars, but got to avoid tractors. Wasn't expecting that one. Had my headphones in as well, so I just felt like a rumbling behind me. Turned around, a massive tractor. A little bit of a disaster. My phone just died. It's been on a really low percentage for a good half an hour or so because I've been using like live maps for my run. I do have a power bank, but I left it, I forgot it. But I can pick one up very, very soon. What can you do? But yeah, I still feel okay. Over a half marathon now. I can start to feel my hips and my knees a little bit. We're back sorted, I've got the power bank, phone's back on charge. I'm not trying to navigate through this very muddy trail inside of the national park. Don't want to slip now. And some sort of siren going on. It sounds like an air raid siren. Hopefully not. Okay, completely fine now. Some good farm views. No more mud, so I'm back in business. 15 miles, 28 miles left.
As I closed in on 20 miles, I felt like now was the perfect time to stop for a few minutes to have some food and refuel myself for the rest of the journey.
I'm having a very quick stop off to have some food. As I mentioned before, I was getting very hungry. So I've got myself a little sandwich. I've got a power bar, so lots of carbohydrates and things in there to keep me going. I've also got my energy gels. This is what I had before in the national park. So I've got a few more of these I can have if I want to. My isotonic powder is in my water. So again, this has been keeping me going the last few hours. I then got some other bits and pieces like a banana, some dried mango, and also this is what I had before when I was getting hungry. This is my little bag of gummy bears. So I'm all set. It's like a little picnic, but I'm feeling good at the moment. I'm starting to feel a little bit heavy in my legs the last couple of miles or so. So I needed to sit down just to have a bit of food, get myself back together again, and hopefully I'll have enough in my body to finish the journey. But I'm 20 miles in at the moment. It's probably just under halfway, I think. But hopefully, after a good rest, refueling, I'll be ready to complete it.
I'm back on the run again now. It was a very nice little break. Didn't overeat because I didn't want to make myself sick. Feel okay. Had a few blisters that have appeared while I was sitting down and my legs have seized up a little bit, but hopefully for the next few miles I'll loosen them back up again. 22 miles in now. Got my second gel. I feel fine in myself. I'm not out of breath or anything. And again, I mentioned before, but the weather has just been perfect. Can't argue one bit with how good the weather's been. Taking a little detour through this little woodland area and I'm heading to Eckartsau, which is like a little village nearby, and on my map it shows that there's a castle. If it's not too far, I'm just gonna have a little look in before heading back to the trail. Adding these extra miles on probably isn't the smartest idea. Time will tell.
As I made my way through the forest, I came to the Schloss Eckartsau, the residence of Emperor Charles I, the last ruler of Austria-Hungary.
That's a decent little detour. Just good to see somewhere a little different, even if it's added a few more miles onto my journey. Just hit a very big milestone. I finished a marathon
which I think is 26.2 miles. I've just hit 26.5. Yeah, it's first ever marathon I've done. You know, it's something I've aimed for a long time, to do a marathon, and even though it's obviously different to a race, something I'm very proud of, but it doesn't end there. Still got to get to around 42, 43 miles, so it's another 17 or so miles. But yeah, let's go. Getting tired. The leg's starting to ache. But hopefully, a few more hours I might be there. That's 30 miles. It's going well. Really starting to feel the tiredness now. Still got enough in the tank to keep going.
After crossing a loud, busy bridge, I found myself in a beautiful little town called Hainburg on the Donau in Lower Austria. It was here where I really started to feel the pain and tiredness of the run. For the first time, I was starting to question if I was going to be able to finish, but I knew I had to keep pushing on.
Just in a little place called Wolfstal, and I'm really starting to feel it now.
My legs were struggling, and upon entering the small area of Wolfstal, I needed to rest my legs just for a minute and compose myself for the final push.
It's getting so difficult. Each step is painful. I just feel tired. I've got about just less than 10 miles to go, so it's good to see in single figures, but I never underestimated how difficult this would be. I've got about 4 or 5 miles to go until I reach Bratislava. I'm on a long road now, which will take me through the border. Sore foot. It's been a little bit on and off, this foot injury, only in the last few miles, but it's so difficult. Just a newfound respect for anyone who does ultra marathons and obviously regular marathons, but when you get into these sort of distances, it's so difficult. And I'm not going with any sort of time. It's taken longer than I was planning, but mainly because I've been doing filming at the same time, so I've had to stop at points, and as it stands, I'm very excited to finish. I'm officially in Slovakia, and there's no border crossing. I've actually gone past a casino. So it's a bit different. I'm about 2.5 miles away from Bratislava now. Very happy to almost be done, but not there yet. But I've hit the 40-mile mark, which I can't quite believe that. I'm feeling it now though, really feeling it. My legs are dying underneath me. Just tired.
Out of the darkness came my moment of elation, relief, and slightly weary confusion.
So I finally made it to Bratislava. Just behind me, you can see the UFO tower. It's like a very famous thing here in Bratislava. It might be a restaurant, I'm not actually too sure, but I'm right by the old town in Bratislava. Yeah, I'm absolutely exhausted. It's been a very, very long day. I'm very tired. 43 miles, yeah, I can't quite believe it. It's a massive achievement, I'm very happy with it. And the man who mentioned earlier on, Russ Cook, who managed to do that day after day for well over a year, I don't understand it, but yeah, I'm gonna find somewhere to eat now, have some water and just sleep.
After training across the world and then completing my running challenge across Austria to Slovakia has been an amazing adventure and something I'm very proud of, even though I'm still feeling the after effects. But now all there is to do is to complete my drawing of Russ Cook, the hardest geezer, the first man to run the entire length of Africa. Check out some more of my videos and subscribe to the channel.